Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to check out the Resiners G3 Curing Machine, which is advertised as a dual-purpose machine with lots of features specifically designed for resin artists. So it's very exciting. I'm also going to unbox and use the Resiners 3D Christmas resin mould set, which looks like a great value kit. I'll give you my honest review on both of these items at the end of the video. I am so excited to be able to do this review of the Resiners G3 Curing Machine and also their amazing resin molds kit for Christmas. So it was so much fun unboxing these. So the mold kit, the Christmas resin molds kit, is just a totally all-in-one kit, and it's just such good value, as are all of their kits. So in here you get two amazing molds. You get the Santa mold and the tree mold, and they are both a two-part mold. So they have the main figure at the top, and then down at the bottom of each of them you'll see the little stand, and highly detailed, beautiful quality. And you also get a stirring stick. Now this is their gorgeous crystal clear epoxy resin, and these are so cute. These are pre-measured, so a zero waste 100ml bottles for single use. So you just open, pour it, mix it. You don't have any errors, no problem with waste or anything like that. And I know that it's a very high gloss, bubble-free resin. You also get the gloves and the two mixing cups, and then included are these three resin dyes, which are perfect for Christmas. So you get the gold yellow, and then you get the green, and you get the red. So they look beautiful as well. Okay, next, look at this. You get a gold paint pen for decorating all the edges. And then these are some beautiful glitter flakes. So these are for gilding or including into your resin for that really magical gold. And then look at this, you get three different glitters, and I love this. So you get a gorgeous yellow gold and a green and a beautiful hot pink. So it's just got everything you need, and I love that. So I'm very excited to make those, but I'm even more excited to check out the curing machine. So I'm just going to push everything back a little bit and make some space. So I've done so much research on how to help your resin projects cure when you live in a cooler or a temperate climate like I do. So we have 4 true seasons in Tasmania. One of them, the winter one, things get quite cold, and resin does not like cold. So lots of people use different things. They use heat mats or dehydrators, but this one was the one that caught my eye. So it is their G3 Curing Machine, and I believe they've had a curing machine in the past, so this would be the upgraded new version. And the big thing about this one is that it's a 2-in-1 machine, and what that means is that it can do the epoxy resin, which is, you know, let's face it, that's the main thing that I work with and the main product that I have trouble with curing, but it also does UV resin, so you don't need to have a separate UV lamp and heat box. And it is just so compact and so beautifully designed. So let's just get this out. I always love their packaging and I love the colour scheme of their equipment. It's this beautiful pale mint green aesthetic. So it's got a handle on the top, which is a heat resistant handle. And then it comes with the semi-transparent lid, and I love that about it because it means you can actually monitor what you're curing inside by just being able to look through. And then this detailed instruction booklet with lots of pictures showing you the different ways you can actually use the machine. So let's get it open and have a closer look. And I know that the internal space is quite large. I think it's 30 by 25 centimetres, which means you can cure lots of different projects at once. And it also includes a very sort of a levelled base for you to work on, and it's height adjustable. So you can cure anything from flat moulds right up to, I think, 13 centimetres tall. So you get this silicone mat, and you do have to remove that piece of sticky to use it. And then when you take that lid off, you've got a tray, and this is going to become your work surface, because you will find, I think, it's so much easier to use this to work on than to do work elsewhere and then carry it over and risk spilling and things like that. So I think that's what is another great feature, is that it gives you a completely heat resistant, easy clean work surface as well. So I just couldn't wait to get started, and the fact that I had this really generous kit made it very easy to know exactly which product I should do first. So this is how you adjust for whether you want a tall mould or a short mould. So you choose. So just by flipping this tray over, and to get that mat out, all you have to do is sort of pinch it a little bit, or tip and pinch at the same time and take that out. So this way that I'm doing it here, this is best suited for flat, low moulds, and the other way I had it is fantastic for the taller moulds. And it kind of looks like when you sit things on it, it's going to be uneven, but it's not. It's beautifully designed. The little silicone raised pieces in there go completely smoothly all the way across, and then you've also got that little central rectangle piece, and I know that that's really good now for determining where that heat the lamp is. So I'm going to be using this gorgeous resin, and I've got another little test I want to do at the same time. So as well as the two 3D Christmas ornaments, I'm going to be pouring a teddy bear each. I've got identical moulds, and I thought this would be a really good way of working out how fast the machine works, or if it's faster than just having the items curing on the outside, and it will give me something to refer to. So I've popped my gloves on, and then I'm just going through to those 3 bottles of dye and using a pin to pop a little hole in the top of them. And I'm just making sure I clean the pin off after each one, just so I don't cross-contaminate the different coloured inks. As always, I've got my Resiners air purifier there, and that's currently showing green, and I keep that on when I'm crafting. It gives you peace of mind, and I know that it is going to remove any VOCs from the air, and also, alert me to the times when they are high. And because I use alcohol, so isopropyl alcohol for cleaning and, you know, wiping up messes and things. It does go on and off during it, but the noise is not a problem, and it's worth having that peace of mind. So I'm measuring out this epoxy resin. This is a 1-to-1 mix, and then I'm just going to stir it for a few minutes and make sure that there are no little, sometimes you'll see strings in uncured resin, and just making sure that it looks nice and mixed, and also that I'm doing everything I can to minimize bubbles. So that's always important, especially when you're working with such detailed molds. Once each of the batches is thoroughly mixed, I'm going to start tinting the resin using those dyes. So red is going to be for Santa, and green is going to be for the tree. And I've set aside out of each of them a teeny little bit of resin, and so whilst I'm going to add in the green glitter to the green and the hot pink to the red, I'm also adding in some of those beautiful gold flakes to the clear resin. So the idea is I'll be able to drizzle that over and get a really pretty sparkly shine running through each of the pieces. So I just sort of randomly drizzle the gold in, and I think it just looks gorgeous. And then I'm just going to start filling in the rest with their respective colours, and they're already looking so beautiful. And the bottoms, I can't forget those, because they are going to be the stands for each of the pieces, and I think that they're going to be so cute. I didn't have quite enough of the red ink pigment to go into the Santa base, so I just added in some of the leftover gold flakes, and look how pretty that is. Okay, now for my next little experiment, I just need to mix up some more of this resin, remembering it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's very easy for me to measure out. It's the little bottles have graduated marks on them, so it's super easy. And this batch I'm going to tint with that yellow gold, and this is going to be for my teddy bear batch, and will allow me to create 2 molds, which one will be in the resin curing machine, the G3, and one will not. So I also end up pouring some of the excess into some hearts, and then I'll just, oh, I'm so excited, because if this can reduce curing time, then that's amazing. So the basic premise of this machine is when you are turning it on, you will have 3 options. So you've got flat, tall, or you've got UV. So it will automatically come up at 2 hours for the time, and it automatically also comes up to 60 degrees Celsius. Now these are the settings that come up when you are using the flat mode, and you are able to change them, of course. You can use the plus minus buttons to reduce time, increase time, reduce temperature, increase temperature. You can also change the temperature to Fahrenheit if you wish, and then it just starts off all by itself. And then that 2 hours, it has an additional little cooling period at the end, which I think is sort of 15 to 20 minutes. And I think that's, you know, important to allow the machine to cool down and for your pieces to cool down as well. So I've been able to ascertain that the pieces in the curing machine are definitely cured. And why did I do this without a glove on? When I put my finger in the pieces on the outside, they are most certainly not cured. They are at what I would call a gel stage. So let's have a look at what we've got. So this is the teddy bear that was in the curing machine, and it is gorgeous, perfectly hard and lovely. And this is the tree. Now, this mould, I must say, the quality of it when you're demoulding was just beautiful. It was very easy to just gently pull back, and it was, yeah, a delight to work with. And I love that it's a two-part mould, so you don't have to worry about losing the other part, and you can see what I mean about the level of detail in it as well. So there we've got our gorgeous Christmas tree, and with that beautiful little, river of the gold flakes running through it. And here is our stand. So I'm excited to see if it fits, and it does. It's perfect. Love that. All right, let's have a look at the Santa now. And again, that demolds beautifully. And oh, I am loving this colour. Obviously, I was thinking I was getting a red Santa, but that gorgeous pink glitter, that hot pink glitter, has taken over a bit, and I'm happy with that. I think that's gorgeous. And so again, fits in beautifully. Look at that. I'm so happy with these pieces. So remembering, this is less than 2.5 hours after I poured these pieces, I am now able to decorate them. And I'm going to use the included gold acrylic paint pen, and I've noticed there it says it marks on anything, and it's water-based, and it also gives you instructions on how to charge the nib. So you give it a little shake, and then you press down onto some paper, and the ink will come down and fill that nib, and you're ready to go. The ink just glides on, and I had so much fun doing this. For those of you who watch me regularly, I very rarely do this sort of a thing, but it was very enjoyable. It was like colouring in, but with more sparkle, and with less worrying about the lines, because you're just doing the edges mainly. And also, if you make a mistake and you want to correct that quickly, you just wipe it off. And I'm not going to show you the whole process, but I finished the tree, moved on to the Santa, and yeah, look, that was brilliant. So highly recommend these pens, and just loving how these molds are going together. Now, I really wanted to test out the UV resin part of this system. So I'm kind of reenacting a common scenario with crafting, and that is that you may have made a couple of pieces with epoxy resin, and then you would like to embellish them and then protect them with a coat of UV resin. So I've got these two little epoxy resin pieces that I'd cast earlier, and I've added some little stickers and nail decals to them, and I'm using the whole curing machine as my workspace. So it's doubling up in duty. It's not only going to be providing me with a dust-free curing space with UV light, it is also giving me a level, safe place to work and to apply resin, and know that if I spill any, it's not going to ruin my work surface and things like that. So let's get to the resin curing. When you press the start button, you can press that twice and it will move through the different modes. And so I've set it on to UV. I set it originally for around about 1 minute, and then I've given it an additional 30 seconds and they are cured beautifully. So although this is only my first use of this G3 curing machine, I'm pretty impressed so far. I'm putting up some screenshots of information from the Resiners page. Feel free to pause for any of these. I'll also put a full link to everything in the description box below. Plus, I'll also give you my discount code and link so that you can get yourself an extra special discount. And in my next couple of videos, I'm going to be testing out the high mode, so using taller molds, and I'm going to be doing some more work with UV resin, and I'm pretty excited to be able to show you that soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.